You're paying the Apple tax right now, and Cupertino is laughing all the way to the bank. While we spend our time fighting over whether the base M3 MacBook Pro is a total insult for starting with just 8 gigs of unified memory that you can never upgrade, a completely different company just launched the exact machine we have been begging Apple to build for a decade. They literally call it the MacBook Pro for Linux users. And the crazy part? The Framework 13 Pro actually delivers on that hype. Ming-Chi recently released an investor note detailing how Apple's next generation of silicon will feature even tighter component integration directly on a logic board. Mark Gurman backed this up entirely, hinting that future MacBooks will be basically impossible to service outside of a certified repair center. They're doubling down on zero repairability. Apple wants you locked in. So when the Framework 13 Pro showed up on my desk, my expectations were pretty low. Modular tech usually promises the world and ends up like Project Era. Remember phone blocks? Just dead vaporware that never sees the light of day. But this thing is a fully realized CNC aluminum unibody-style machine that genuinely feels like a massive threat to the MacBook Pro dominance. This matte black chassis hides fingerprints insanely well. I would honestly argue it has more character and soul than the current space black MacBooks we have all been reviewing. The deck thickness is almost identical to a 14-inch MacBook Pro. But here is the massive difference that changes everything. Mac-Otakara recently published a supply chain report showing Apple's new display housing is glued down tighter than ever, intentionally designed to prevent third-party repairs. With the Framework, you grab the single included screwdriver, and in 5 to 10 minutes, you completely swap out the entire input deck. You can change the keyboard color, swap out the haptic trackpad, and customize your ports on the fly. Yes, the ports. You literally just buy little expansion cards. I decided to configure mine with 3 USB-C ports and an SD card reader today, but if I suddenly need an HDMI port or a DisplayPort module tomorrow, I just pop one in. You literally cannot do that anywhere in the Apple ecosystem. The display on this thing is a massive upgrade over their older models. It is a custom 2880 by 1920 panel with a 3:2 aspect ratio. I love this for productivity because you get so much more vertical space for reading code or timelines. Ross Young from DSCC has been tweeting constantly about Apple pushing tandem OLED into future MacBooks to boost brightness and contrast. But honestly, Framework's anti-glare finish is something Apple charges a massive premium for with their nanotexture glass. It is a touchscreen too. It hits 100% of the sRGB color space, but falls a bit short of the MacBook's DCI P3 coverage. So if you do heavy video editing, you might notice the difference. But for coding, writing, and your daily driver tasks, it is 90% of the Apple experience, but infinitely more modular. Inside, my specific unit is rocking 32 gigs of insanely fast LPDDR5X RAM and a 1TB Gen 5 SSD. If this was a Mac, upgrading to those specs at checkout would cost you the price of a used car. Here, they're completely socketed and fully upgradable. The processor is the Intel Core Ultra Series 3, specifically the Ultra X7 chip. DG Times just published a huge report about how Apple's TSMC 3nm yields are creating massive supply constraints for the upcoming M4 chips, which might hike up the price of future Macs even higher. Framework bypasses that bottleneck completely. The performance here is incredibly snappy. It handles all the typical productivity stuff effortlessly without breaking a sweat, and the integrated graphics can even handle light gaming without aggressive thermal throttling ruining your frame rates. But wait, is it actually perfect? Honestly, I'll believe it when I see it survive a few years of daily abuse in my backpack. It is not exactly a perfect MacBook clone. The build quality is maybe 85% of Apple's gold standard. When you torque the chassis, you can feel the top and bottom plates separate just a tiny bit, which does not inspire total confidence. The hinge wobbles a little after a one-finger open test. The LEC recently put out a deep dive article detailing exactly how Apple sources its ultra-premium laptop hinges, and it shows. Why Max feels so sturdy. Framework still has a little catching up to do there. And we definitely have to talk about the speakers and the webcam. The speakers have a Dolby Atmos rating stamped on them, but they sound weak. They're barely half as good as the absolutely godlike speakers on the 14-inch MacBook Pro. And the 1080p webcam? It is ridiculously noisy. It has tons of visual artifacts and looks terrible on any video call. Shrimp Apple Pro leaked that Apple is upgrading the entire webcam module for the next MacBook redesign. And Framework really needs to take notes here, because this camera is rough. But they do have physical privacy switches built directly into the bezel to hardware disconnect the mic and camera, which is a huge win. I have been daily driving Ubuntu on this thing, and the seamless integration is actually shocking. The developer support in Linux right now is fantastic. You get Firefox, Discord, Steam, Blender, and zero forced AI features pushed down your throat. Just a clean, powerful machine that respects your privacy. But we have to talk about the pricing because that Apple tax might actually be contagious. Framework quietly bumped the price recently. The base model jumped from $1,500 to $1,600, and the top-end configuration went from $2,100 all the way to $2,900. So, are you willing to pay top dollar for a modular machine? Let me know down in the comments. Would you trade 15% of your MacBook's build quality for the ultimate ability to upgrade your RAM and storage in 3 years? The day you buy the Framework 13 Pro is the day it feels like the worst value compared to a sleek new Mac. But the second you spill coffee on the keyboard and realize you can just swap the deck yourself instead of paying Apple $1,000 for a logic board replacement, the tables turn entirely. They even let you drop this brand new motherboard directly into a 5-year-old older chassis to get faster Wi-Fi and better specs. That backwards compatibility proves they are committed to this ecosystem. So yes, it is expensive up front, but as a long-term investment, this might just be the modular dream finally coming true.